I've got kind of a mess right here on the old work table, and I need to clean that up first. So I woke up this morning not feeling all that great, and I've been struggling even just to push record. It's like 10 o'clock already. I've had breakfast, but I worked all week and I just feel like poop. But the old shop truck is out, and I've got one of my shocks in here for the Baja, which I'm going to use to figure out where I can put this other tube. So what I want to get done today, first of all, I got to clean this mess up, give myself some working space, but I want to get this tube in here today. So this needs to be mounted in here like so I know how far I can encroach on this side of the beam for some more support. I actually feel like, oh God, I don't feel good at all. I actually feel like, even though I'm going to come over a little bit this way with this tube, I also kind of feel like I want to put a gusset in there, because a gusset can kind of sneak behind where the shock is sitting, hopefully. But what I'd like to get done today is that cleaned up. These tubes made for both sides with the, just made and at least fit in there, which was going to require me to cut this off and cut off my fly-by-wire. And I also like to swap this battery out, which is dead to the world, and put this new battery that's in that there box in, so I can start the motor, run it, show people that it works, and sell it, because that needs to come out next. So that's not too much to do in a day. Wish me luck. I'm not feeling great, so we'll see how this goes. I'm gonna clean up and get ready to start doing some work. So I've got this little work area cleaned up pretty good. And, I blew out the garage, so there's a bunch of dust in here. Acton is just dusty. Dust is everywhere. But I was thinking, I'm like, wow, I got something done, but it's amazing how fast you get nothing done. It's already 11 o'clock. It's been an hour, and I've done what? I've got that little thing cleaned off and this dusted out. But I usually take a nap at like noonish or 1. Today, I'm gonna fight it with some First Form energy drink. I'm gonna try to push through and work the whole day. But before I do the Baja Bug stuff, I got these. I don't like the way these things lean down like this. These ramps lean down. And I just got these little stops that keep them like this. So when I have something on here, I can park something under here. And these aren't hanging down and hitting you in the head while you're working on stuff or whatever. It'll hold them up. So I'm gonna do that really quick, because I feel like it'll only take me a few minutes. We'll see. It's gonna be noon by the time I'm done. Watch. Man. Get up here. Yuck. There you go, one done. You see in there? Why does the GoPro turn off sometimes on the screen? I don't get it. Anyways, much better. Look at how much higher that lays than the other one. Let's go knock this other one out real quick. Okay. Whoa, almost fell down on my head. All right, so now that's done, I can put the cotter pins in here and finalize this. I was just waiting to get those parts to do that. You see how it works now? It's kind of bitching, right? You just go in there and hold it off. So much better. Now when it's raised up, I can fit the old Mercedes. I could probably fit the Mercedes underneath that just the way it is. Okay, let me just throw some cotter pins in here, and then I'll get working on the Bug. I swear I'm gonna work on the car next. All right, I got all that done. Cotter pins, that's all done. Raptor's back up on the lift, not because I'm gonna do anything to it, but just because it's where it parks now that I have a lift. It actually used to park here, but yeah, anyways. Now to start working on the Bug. It is 11:30, so it didn't take me a whole hour, but half an hour. So the first thing I need to do, I'm gonna take this off. I'm gonna cut this remainder of the tube off, and you can see on the other side, right there is the other side's remainder of the tube. So we're gonna cut these two off. I'm gonna install the shock, and I'm gonna start test fitting a tube here. Right here, like this, boop, boop. Here we go. That's funny. That's really funny. So I don't know when, but at some point, that, I don't know if I'm in focus and I can't see anything, but that screw is gone. It's loose. Nut was just sitting there. That's funny. Why is it? Oh, because of that end over there. So I don't really need this anymore. I'm gonna cut it off because my new engine is not fly-by-wire. I kind of rigged this when I built this car because I didn't want to use the Ecotech gas pedal. I wanted to use this dope-ass pedal here. And I just kind of put from Ace Hardware, put some, what do you call this thing? I don't even know what you call this, but this is some all thread in there with 2 joints and made myself a, I don't know, connector to the fly-by-wire, and then just mounted the fly-by-wire pedal down here. That'll all come with the motor if someone buys the motor. Okay, well that's off. Now I need a flapper disc to grind it down. This flapper disc looks like it's toast. Should I try to use it one more time? Let's do it, what the hell. The one thing I don't understand is everyone uses that little keyway thing there to get that off. This is nice and tight. You see that? I just take and twist it the other way. It comes right off. Like, I've never used that little tool to get any of my blades on and off ever. Am I crazy? It's on. All right, I got that side done in pretty good time. I do want to hack this off really quick while I'm here. I'd be willing to bet if I just ground down on that side a little bit, I can just knock it off with a hammer. I bet. But that's going to be nasty getting down underneath there. See if I can figure out a way to do that from up above. But on to the next side. We'll be over there in just a moment. Then I can start kind of trying to fit some tubing in here and finish off this front end. That's all I have to do is put these tubes in and then put new bushings in, have them fit and reamed, obviously paint everything, and then I can start reassembling the front end. And after that, we can work on the back. I know it's been like 5 days, but I've only been working on this car like a few hours each day, whatever I can. So it can be done. I bet you this could have all been done in probably a day and a half if you really worked at it all day. Cool, let me clean up this mess and hack off that piece that I want to get off, and then I'll reposition the camera on this side and we'll cut off this one. Cool. All right, that one's done. That's all cleaned up. I'm just gonna start using that flapper disc to polish this guy down. Get rid of all this extra shit. Here we go. Okay, cool. That's all cleaned up. Now I'm gonna take some measurements and, oh man, make some tubes to try to fit in here. Man, I'm tired. Even though I drank an energy drink, I'm still tired. It sucks. Look at that mess. Ugh. All right. All right, well, I got all that cleaned up, that mess. Here's our carnage from that little cleanup of the frame. So these are obviously some complicated angles right here, and I don't have any fancy tools to make this work. And I'm not feeling so into it right now. I think I'm gonna grab some lunch and possibly take a nap and then cut some pieces. I have inch and a quarter and inch and a half, and I'm going to sleeve them together so I have some room to play with the length of it in that section. So I'll cut a couple pieces after I take a nap and continue then. See ya. All right, I'm all refreshed. Nice nap. So here we go. These are the tubes I need to make now. So my distance that I have from that tube to say the longest point is roughly 20 inches or whatever, right? So I'm gonna make two tubes at like, I don't know, if I made it at 16 inches, it'd have a lot of overlap, but I don't know if there's anything wrong with that. So I don't know, I'm gonna make a total of 20 inches between the two tubes. I'll do this side first, and then if I run into any problems, I'll do, you know, then I can test it, and then whatever I figure out, I'll do for the other side. All right, here we go. I'm gonna go out to the sea containers out there, where I have my chop saw, and I took all the tubing out there so I don't have it sitting here on the side of the Baja. We'll cut some lengths, 20 inches. All right, see you out there. Okay, I just want to like emphasize on how important it is to have a nice clean work area. You know, I clean up after grinding every time, and I just want to make sure my workspace is always clean, just like this one. This one's very clean, so that way I can do really nice work, right? Yeah, right. Anyways, the tubing's over here. I'm gonna set it up here and cut, and since I need, what do I say, 20 inch total lengths, roughly 20 inch total length, I'm gonna cut them both at, what should I cut them both at, like 12 inches? I don't know, I'll figure it out. But I have no idea if I'm doing this right or wrong, but I'm gonna give it a shot and see if I can get it to work. Wish me luck. I feel like cutting them both at 15 inches. That way I have, what would I have? That would mean I would have, what, 10 inches inside and 5 inches to play with. And if I want to shorten it, I can always hack off 2 or 3 inches once I get the angles figured out on the end. So I'm going to cut them both at roughly 15 inches. So, we use this one. Uh-oh. That's right at 15. Oh my gosh, it's dead on and it's hitting the wall over there. It's right at 15 inches. There it is. Okay. These are supposed to slide really easily between each other, but they don't. Let's go clean them up in the garage and see if I can get them to slide back and forth really easy. All right, check it out. It's really tight. Yeah. So now we can take this tube, and you know, I could make it that long, or I can make it that long, you know. I can start getting these angles down and figure out where I want it to be. But before I do that, what I'm gonna do is I need to put this shock on and see how close to the edge of this I can be without interfering with this spring that's going to be right there. All right, so I'm gonna do that real quick. I'm gonna put that shock on. You see me take it off, so you know what it entailed. And then we'll start mocking this thing up, and I'll start trimming it and cutting it and making it fit those angles. So here we are. The shock is on, and now I can see how much room I have. I feel like I'm just gonna have to set up my apple box over here. It goes right into that support. I don't know if I want to entertain. Let me get the camera off the tripod and show you guys what I'm talking about. So you see where this is right here? Like my optimum angle is right into that support. And I don't know if that's, I mean, it's probably the strongest point, right? What'd you think? If I notched it so it went around all that business and then rested against the tube, it's probably gonna be more like that. Or do I just go like this? And that's close enough? I mean, I think it could be closer than that. I really do. I feel like, dang, it could almost be past that. How much space is there now? Just on the other side of that. No, I think that's too much. Sorry, I'm not. That's too much, I believe. That's too close. I kind of feel like that. Right on the other side of that brace there. Like so. And then a gusset. Like that gusset would be really nice in there. What do you guys think? It's gonna be too late because I'm already gonna have trimmed this thing and made it fit somehow. Should I phone a friend? Should I call James? Ask him what he would do? I think I'm gonna do that. I am gonna hit him up. I'm gonna send him a video just like that and see what he thinks I should do. So we've decided to go right here with it, just on the inside of this rib here. So I'm gonna start shaping this tube. I went over and cut another one for the other side, so I've got them both here. And I'm gonna get on. I'm gonna take that shock back out because I don't need that there anymore. Because there's plenty of room from that spot to the tube I'm putting in there. There's gonna be plenty of room there. So yeah, I'm gonna start shaping that, and I don't know how to make tubing shaped so that it fits against other tubing, especially at a complicated angle like that. So that's why I gave myself so much room in there, so I could mess up a few times and hopefully get it to work. Wish me luck. Here we go. So when I was kind of setting this up, I was, had to tap in the arm a little bit because it was so tight on that bushing. Don't do that, because it makes it a pain in the butt to take them back out. It's really nice you can just tap on the end here, but getting it back out is being a real pain in the butt. A rubber mallet won't do anything. I'm just trying to not do any damage. You live and you learn. Don't make this mistake. Do not force your arm back or into the fit or into the. Ugh, I can barely even turn it. Yeah, don't force it in there. It's too tight. There's no reason to do that. That's not the right thing to do. Don't do that. All right, so hopefully this works out, but I don't know if you can see right, but that's basically where I want it to be. So I'm just gonna really roughly draw some lines on here just to give you an idea of what angle this stuff needs to be at. So I feel like that's the angle that needs to be at, something like that. And this needs to be at an angle something like that. Oh, that's terrible. So you see I got that angle, I think is that one, and that I think is that one. I'm gonna take my Sawzall and just nip off those ends there just like that, just to give me a start. Never mind, Sawzall doesn't have a blade in it. It's terrible. I'm gonna get my Sawzall set up. I was gonna put the camera up there, but I'll probably shake it to death. Of course, I got a bunch of junk up here already. I hate Sawzalls. Hate them. I think I'm gonna walk out and cut it on my big saw. Oh. This thing is terrifying. Look how thin that is. It's gonna fly off and hit me in the face. That's it. I'm taking a walk out to the sink. I'm gonna cut these real quick. I'll be right back. Well, I just ended up putting the tube in a vice grip right here and cut it off with the Sawzall. That Sawzall's hurt my hands really bad. Got very sensitive hands if you didn't know that already. So anyways, I think this is pretty good. This one, that's a good angle there for sure. This one needs a little bit of work, but is there a way I can show you guys this? One hand. So you can see that that's kind of a good angle right there. I've got that one pretty close. I just need to round it out a little bit. This one, obviously I need a little bit more cut in the backside there, you know, and then round it, you know. But that's pretty close. I'm gonna start grinding away at the insides of these tubes and see if I can get them a lot closer. I think it always gets loose. It's pretty dang good on that side. I mean, I'd go a little bit more. I'm actually gonna give it just a little bit more. Yeah, I'm gonna give it just a little more. It doesn't really need it because there's only like a 1/16 of an inch gap there, but I want it tight like a tiger. That's funny. I've got a giant gap on the bottom. It looks really good on this side, but on the bottom there's a giant gap on it. Anyways, I mean that's kind of the idea. I think that side's pretty good. Now I want to start worrying about this side here. Yeah, there's a big old gap down there at the bottom. Let me start getting this somewhat close, so that way if it changes angle a little bit, I'm not already like super happy with this side, and then I'm getting bummed because it's getting worse and worse. Does that make sense? But yeah, there needs to be cut a lot more there. So I'm gonna start grinding on that side. And yes, I know tube notchers exist. I don't have one. This is what a dentist feels all day. I'm just gonna keep working on it until it fits real nice. That's what it's about, right? Not beautiful, but just trying to get the right shape. There's that end. I'm gonna keep working on it. All right, I think I've gotten pretty darn close here. Let me just set this down for a second. Put this in, and I'll show you guys. I still want to massage it a little bit more, but that looks pretty darn good. I mean, I know it's not, you know, absolutely perfect, but this is just Lee in his garage. And that looks pretty darn good to me. Now, you know, I noticed that all these other tubes have these like notches in them and these holes in them before they're welded in. So I kind of want to do that little biscuit thing to it. I'm assuming that's so you get more, you know, if it's just around, you know, let's say it's, you know, 3 inches around or whatever. If you do this, you're getting more linear inches of welds. I'm assuming that's why that's done like that. I don't really know, but that's what I'm guessing. I want to do the same thing to this before I weld it in. I'm going to massage it a little bit more. I'm going to make it fit like as good as I can. And then I'll probably take it over to James's house. He's got a hole saw. He can saw that little, you know, thing in it and these holes for me real quick and easy. And then I can bring these things back and weld them in, but that probably won't happen until tomorrow. It's almost 5 o'clock, and I'm sure, it's 4:15, but I'm sure Haley's gonna want to eat here soon. She's been making a pot roast all day, and it smells really good. But yeah, I'm gonna massage this a little bit more. I'm gonna try to get to the other side and get that one mocked up as well, and then we'll see what happens next. All right, well, once I got the other side done, this side went a lot faster. Can I hold this end? I mean, I can't really hold it in there 100% right, but that's pretty good, close, isn't it? That side looks pretty darn good. Yeah, I'm happy with that. I will massage it a little bit more before I weld it in there, but for the day, I think I've got done what I wanted to get done. I did want to start it today, didn't I? But that's not going to happen. Haley's about ready or about done with dinner, so I'm going to go inside. And it takes me usually the rest of the day to try to download this material and edit it and post it up so you all can watch it the next day. Well, I think I'm going to call it. This is going to be it. If I get crazy tonight and come out here and start the car, then I'll add that on a little clip of its own so I can put it in a sales ad. Anyways, take it easy. Till next time.